Are you serious? Well, I am very serious. The omen of the blood moon. The omen of the blood moon. This is incredible, guys. There was a blood moon. Excuse me. You've heard about the blood moons, but do you know about the omen of the blue moon? I see a blue moon rising. They say there's trouble on the way. I see the blue moon rising. You better stay in today. What? Well, don't go out that night. It's Halloween. It's fright. There's a blue moon on the rise. Seriously, guys, this is going to happen. It's a blue moon Halloween night. Now, it happened in 1955. It happened again in 2001, the year of 9/11. And it's going to happen again October 31st, 2020, a year of coronavirus, a year of wars and rumors of wars, a year of discourse and divisiveness and demonic activity spreading throughout the world, a year of riots, a year of wildfires burning out of control in California, a year of asteroids scraping past the earth, a year of record monsoon rains in Bangladesh, Nepal, India, Pakistan, China. Unbelievable. A year of typhoons, monsoons, blood moons, pontoons, baboons, raccoons, and everything else running wild. And it's going to be insane what's going to happen this time around. Halloween night, 3 nights before the most important election in U.S. history, we got a blue moon on the rise. Let me put a shout out right now to noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Guys, are you serious? They're a Christian company. They're family owned. They've been wonderful friends of our ministry and really have a great, great company. Matter of fact, here's what they're saying over there at Noble Gold Investment. They're telling us this is what's up. Guys, the world has never, I'm serious, the world has never looked like this uncertain as it is right now. And across the United States, people are being paralyzed into indecisions. They're humming, they're hawing, they're just sitting around, they're shutting down, they're frustrated, they're flustered, they're freaking out. They don't know what to do when it comes to their 401k or their IRAs. And really, they need to do something because it's losing money every day in this inconsistent stock markets. A lot of people had their money in certain stocks that are tanking, like bank stocks. Yet gold and silver's on the rise. Matter of fact, as bleak as it might look, there may be a silver or even a gold lining. Here's what we're saying. It's unbelievable. If you've worked for many years and you got a 401k or an IRA sitting out there and it's losing money, it's doing nothing. It's time for you to take a look at maybe making a decision. Get a hold of www.noblegoldinvestments.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestments.com. Get a hold of Colin Plume or one of his associates over there and call the number 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And tell them Pastor Begley sent you over there and that you're wanting to take a look at maybe rolling over that 401k or IRA, or maybe just want to set up a gold IRA or silver IRA. If you do and you're qualified, you will get this incredible Apollo 11, 5 ounces of pure silver, Apollo 11 commemorative 99.999% silver coin. It's worth over $320, He'll give it to you for free if you set up a gold or silver IRA and you qualify. He wants to give you this as a gift. Guys, let's get started, all right? And make sure you don't just let that 401k die on the vine. All right, guys, I got news for you right now. There was an article just came out of just a few, about 3 hours ago. I don't even know. I didn't realize this company wrote an article. They're called Film Daily, and they wrote an article about the blue moon situation that I've been talking about. The headline is 2020 the end of the world? Inside the latest Doomsday prophecy. First, we heard that the Mayan calendar was off by 8 years, and you've been hearing that. The Mayan elders are saying that now, that they actually may have missed their date, December 21st, 2020, as the last day of the world. They think maybe they were off by 8 years. Then every astrologer on your YouTube playlist out there has mentioned that 2020 for the last 5 years is a banner year for Doomsday and apocalyptic events. Now there could be a biblical reference that 2020 could be a sign that we're in the end times, guys. Matter of fact, amid the Doomsday prophecies that came and went, there's one that seems to hold most water. From the global pandemic or pestilence to increasing tensions and violent protest, to extra bad wildfires and eerie red skies, our end of the world checklist seems to be filling up. Now, the blue moon on Halloween. The blue moon on Halloween looks like another end time marker in some people's minds. It could be this could be the end of days, but does that spell the apocalypse? Here's what we know. According to this article that was written, the blue moons happen sometimes once every 18 months. Since the lunar cycle is 28 days, and most months have 30 or 31 days in them, to keep up with the solar calendar, we get an extra full moon in 1 month out of every 18 or so. It normally doesn't signal the end of the world, but this is unusual because this one lands on Halloween. And that hasn't happened since the year 2001. And before that, it didn't happen till 1955. So blue moons on Halloween are very rare. And guys, seriously, this one could be more prophetic than any. Matter of fact, there won't be another blue moon on Halloween night till the year 2039. Will time even last that long? And that's the next question. This could be the final blue moon on Halloween. Very rare, very strange situation. Now, here's what they wrote about me. They said, Paul Begley's take on this. They said, many of evangelical pastors believe the Halloween blue moon signals the end of the world. I don't know if they believe it's the end of the world, but I certainly say they realize that God, who put the moon and the sun and the stars all in motion, as he said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, that God said he created these things for signs and seasons and for days and years. I'm going to read that right in the beginning of the creation in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So God set this in play for not only for the nighttime and the daytime and for setting up your calendars, but also for prophetic signs and seasons. And we're in a prophetic season if we were ever in one. Can somebody put a thumbs up right now? Are you serious? It's very serious. Now, and here's what they said. They wrote there that, but especially since this blue moon is being held 3 days before the U.S. election, Pastor Paul Begley, who runs the Coming Apocalypse podcast, details how this blue moon will bring the end of the world, or could it? It's certainly a sign. In Begley's podcast, after his bad rendition of Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival, where he changes bad moon to blue moon. What? Paul Begley opens his September 9th segment with the bad omen of the blue moon on Halloween. Now, Begley claims that there was a blue moon tied to some significant events in history. 5 years ago, even an article was written by the UK Express detailing Pastor Paul Begley's prediction that a blue moon in 2015 on the heels of the 4 blood moon tetrad was a significant signal of the end of days or the end of the world. Begley cleared the air about the 2015 Express article with his prediction turned up. He said he's not a prophet, and I'm not a prophet. He didn't foretell that the world would end after September, full moon, and a lunar eclipse. That's correct. However, he said the lunar eclipse, which he claims is part of a blood moon tetrad, a series of 4 lunar eclipses, came when the Pope visited America in 2015. And that is true. What were the odds of that? The Pope visiting during the 4 blood moon tetrad and a blue moon on Halloween, not on Halloween, but a blue moon. Now, Begley claims that the blood moons could herald the second coming of Jesus Christ and the end of the world. Well, there's certainly a sign, or even Armageddon. There's certainly a sign and a season, as it says in Genesis 1, verse 14. And even Jesus said, guys, in Luke 21, 25 through 28, for there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves will be roaring, and men's hearts will fail them for fear, for looking after those things coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Then shall we see the Son of Man coming in a clouds with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, he said, look up, lift up your head, your redemption is drawing nigh. Well, Begley is claiming that these are prophetic signs of the last days. He says, Begley breaks down his method for doomsday explanations by quoting Genesis and sometimes out of Revelation. Begley believes that Genesis reveals the moon, sun, stars were created by God for prophetic signs and seasons, quoting Genesis 1:14 to further the breakdown. And he also talks about Luke 21, which I just did, where Jesus says there will be signs in the heavens, and the seas and the waves will be roaring. We got 4 storms right now in the Atlantic. One is smashing into Houston as we speak. And Begley emphasized that in Luke, pointing out 2 hurricanes about to form. Hurricanes happen every year, folks. But during a blood moon, during coronavirus, during the strongest lightning strikes in history, during the record monsoons, during the record typhoons, during the most divisive political climate in the history of the world, during Rosh Hashanah, during another Supreme Court justice needing to be chosen, during the United Nations 75th General Assembly. What? Volcanoes, earthquakes, the core of the earth is melting, the sun is waking up from a 3-year cycle. I mean, are you serious? Asteroids are whizzing by our head like raindrops. It's unbelievable what's going on. No. This is a prophetic time. I mean, if I'm serious. And Begley says it's getting stronger over the last several years, the signs of the end days. Begley's blue moon prediction. Begley pointed out more natural disasters and phenomenons are happening right now, including Planet X. You want me to bring that one up? Yes. And the West Coast wildfires. Begley pointed out that during the full moon in July, when wildfires were beginning in California, the ash in the air turned the moon blood red in California, making it an unscheduled blood moon. And while the moon just turning red isn't a lunar eclipse, which happens when the sun and moon are on exact opposite sides of the earth, blocking the blue light and making the moon appear red. NASA says the moon turning red as blood is listed as an end of the world omen in Revelation, the last book in the Bible that describes the end of the world. And that's what it says. So is this a coincidence, they say? Well, Begley believes the blue moon is prophetic since it's happening 3 days before the U.S. elections. He believes it's possible that the socialistic, communistic beast in Revelation could rise out of the sea at this time. In other words, the rising of the Antichrist spirit, the beast kingdom, is rising. I think even a lot of Christians who've never studied eschatology is now adding this to their theology. Matter of fact, we got pastors now are starting to teach out of Revelation that never even looked at the book, and they thought it was already passed. They realize now their parishioners, the padded pew parishioner, is demanding that the pastor stop the 3-point poems in the pulpit and become preachers of the gospel. Oh, come on, somebody. And now Begley is saying this election is the most important of its time. Of course it is. He points again to California wildfires and the pact forming in the Middle East, which points to the end of the world. What do you mean by pact? I'm talking about the covenant with many, signing up with Israel, 5 different nations. Are you serious? All of this at the same time. Something biblical's going on, guys. Something really big biblical. Wildfires are happening every year. According to U.S. elections, happen every 4. Yeah, but they all don't come together during a blood moon and then a blue moon. What? And a COVID pandemic, coronavirus, China coronavirus, call it whatever you want to. Something biblical's going on here, guys, with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Oh, it's unbelievable. So just check this out. I'll put the link below. You can read the articles. Oh, just go to my app. It's the best thing to do. Just go to the app. If you don't have the new Apocalypse app, I'll put it in the link below. Go get it. It's only $6 a month. Then you can go around the Apocalypse Watch. You can click on any hour on the watch, and it gives you updates on different categories, how that the clock is ticking toward midnight and the coming of Jesus Christ is getting closer. And my job is to wake the masses up, to break down, to alert, to sound the alarm, to alert people that Jesus Christ is soon to return. Will you be ready? What if he did? What if he could? Could he? Could he come the night of the blue moon?